Welcome to Shooting It Straight with Stan. I'm your host, Stan, the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states and Puerto Rico, founder of CGO, Contractual Guarantees Only, which means that we only look at annuities for what they will do, not what they might do. You never, ever buy them for growth. You never, ever buy them for potential, hypothetical, theoretical, back-tested, etc. Just don't fall for that. Today's topic's a good one. It's called MYGAs or annuity bonds. Multi-year guarantee annuities are annuity bonds. I recently did a newsletter on that, and if you're on my list, you got the newsletter. And phone rang off the hook, emails off the hook. I'm like, well, I got to do a video on this to kind of go over it, because a lot of people disagreed, most people agreed. But let me explain the context for me even saying that. Number one, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to bonds. I managed them at Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter, Payne Weber, and UBS at a very, very high level. I do understand them, whether they're munis or corporates, doesn't matter. I know them, okay? So when I left the Wall Street to become the Annuity Man and to dominate out here, and we are the biggest and baddest and best out here, and I'm the hardest working man in the annuity business. I'm telling you that right now. I came out here and I saw these MYGAs, which are, they're called multi-year guarantee annuities. In essence, they're the annuity industry version of a CD. Nothing more fancy than that. I mean, you get a guaranteed interest rate for a specific period of time. And I looked at them and go, okay, that looks similar to a bond. And as you know, you can buy corporate bonds. You can buy corporations that issue bonds. But to me, MYGAs are kind of like bonds. Now, here's the difference. For all you, like, curmudgeons out there, well, they're not bond. Hang in there with me, player, okay? I know what I'm talking about. When you buy a bond, if you ever bought a municipal bond, etc., you know that once you buy the bond, the underlying value fluctuates. Even though if you hold it to term, it's going to be fine. But it fluctuates. With MYGAs, the underlying value never fluctuates. It's static. Like a CD, like a traditional CD. You get a guaranteed interest rate for a specific period of time that you choose, and they come in increments of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 years. Longer ones with some, but 10 years is typically where most of the carriers offer. But what I like about them is that the underlying value does not fluctuate. Also like them, if you really want to go high quality and say, you know what, Stan, I see things on your site that are B++, A-, A, whatever. But what if I buy an A+ MYGA? To me, you're buying A+ paper. To me, you're buying A+ guarantees with an A+ company. To me, you're buying a bond. And that's what it feels like, that's what it acts like, and that's what it is. For whatever reason, I'm getting a ton of questions now like, well, Stan, what do you do with your money? Stan, the Annuity Man. What do you and the lovely Christine of 38 years of marriage, God bless her, what do you guys do with the money? Well, first of all, I'm not in the markets at all. And you go, wait a minute, you're not in the markets at all? No. My company, the Annuity Man, is a growth stock that you could never buy because I own it. It makes NVIDIA look like a CD. We're growing by leaps and bounds, okay? So the best growth stock on the planet, the best ROI on the planet is the Annuity Man that I own, me, my wife and I. So what do you do with the rest, Stan? What do you do with the profits? We buy MYGAs. We buy long-term MYGAs. Typically, A+, whatever I feel comfortable with on the financials, I look at them. We buy MYGAs with non-IRA, non-qualified, non-checking money. I'm buying annuity bonds. That's what I'm buying. I'm buying annuity bonds. I told my wife that because I've been in the financial services business our whole life. I started with Dean Witter when we first were married. And I said, these are bonds. I mean, guaranteed coupons. If I die, you get the coupon. It's beautiful. And the interest grows and compounds, tax deferred, and there's not a darn thing the IRS can do about it. They can't do one thing. Unless they change the darn law, and that's not going to happen because the life insurance lobby, life insurance companies issue annuities, they aren't going to allow that to happen because they give all the money to the politicians and they make the NRA look like a bunch of pikers. So yeah, we have that, and it's growing and compounding and growing and compounding. And when it reaches maturity, we roll it into another one, non-taxable event transfer, doesn't trigger any taxes, and we keep compounding and compounding and compounding. Now, a lot of you out there are going, but wait a minute, Stan, somebody's got to eventually pay the taxes. Yeah, it's probably going to be my two daughters, and they can get over themselves. They've been living under the umbrella of capitalism that I so provided to them their whole life. They can pay the taxes on $1 quadrillion of MYGAs. MYGAs are annuity bonds. That's what they are. Now, if you say, well, Stan, I'm interested in this high-yielding B double plus MYGA that I see on your site. Okay. You know, B double plus is investment grade in the bond world, right? So what I do with those, I look underneath the hood, I look at their financials, and I make the determination and recommendation, can they back up the claim for the term that you're looking at? And then if I think that they can, or I know that they can, then I recommend them. You're buying annuity bonds. You have to look at them like that. That's funny. I always have these consultants that come in and out of my life, and they tell me they're wonderful, and they tell me they can help and all that stuff, and I typically give some of them the shot. One of them said, well, you really shouldn't say that they're annuity bonds. You really shouldn't say that they're CDs because they're MYGAs. And I said, shut the heck up, little man. You have no clue what you're talking about. Get out of my way. You're fired. When you've managed bonds for a living at a high level on Wall Street, which I did, with my I got to give my partner some credit. They were fantastic. They're still in it. They're still there. You know, I mean, you understand it. And I get out here, and there's A-plus paper at really high rates with really good companies. That's a bond. There's 5 places on the planet to put your money that's safe, that you get a guaranteed interest rate: CDs, money markets, treasuries, AAA municipal bonds, and MYGAs, which are annuity bonds. When you're going into chapter 2 of your life, which people call retirement, chapter 2 is about you. There is absolutely no reason you shouldn't have some MYGAs in the portfolio, whether it's Roth IRA, traditional IRA, or non-IRA, but especially if it's non-IRA. Like me, I'm just letting it grow and compound. And there's not a thing the IRS can do about it because it's legal. It's growing and compounding. Well, there's still going to be a tax bomb down the road. It's not going to be my tax bomb, player. It's going to be my two daughters' tax bomb. They'll get over themselves. Pay the taxes, players, playerettes. What I want to get through to you is this whole thing about, boy, I hate annuities. I've never really considered buying an annuity, Stan. Stop with that stupidity. That's just nonsense. You shouldn't even feel comfortable saying that to me. And every day people say, well, I've never really considered an annuity. Shut up. That's because you don't know anything about them. If I told you could get A-plus paper at a high rate, would you take it? Annuity or non-annuity? You darn right you'd take it. So stop. Stop with obsessing over the category. Obsess over the guarantees. Right? Now, some people will say, well, how about indexed annuities? Those are kind of bonds. They're not. You know why? It's because the return isn't guaranteed. Remember, CDs, money markets, treasuries, munis, MYGAs? Index annuity returns aren't guaranteed. Those aren't bonds. Those are hypothetical, theoretical, projected, hopeful, agent, unicorn chasing the butterfly nonsense that you might hope works out. There's no hope. Hope doesn't pay the bills. Potential doesn't pay the bills. Guarantees pay the bills. So MYGAs are annuity bonds. Index annuities are not annuity bonds. RILAs are not annuity bonds. Variable annuities are annuity bonds. MYGAs are annuity bonds. Principal protected. No moving parts. No market attachments. No fees. Guaranteed interest rate. Got it? Good. What did we learn today? You're right. Annuity bonds. They're called MYGAs. My name is Stan, the Annuity Man. That's Shooting It Straight with Stan. Yeah, I'm intense, but I'm telling the truth. See you next time.